Hello guys, I'm CBMF Productions, and welcome back to another installment of Underrated Films. Today's episode will be talking about a film that's way under the radar, and it doesn't deserve to be, the 2014 drama Rudderless. The film was directed and co-written by William H. Macy, being his directorial debut, who's an actor you might recognize from the American version of Shameless, Fargo, Boogie Nights, or as I know him from, The Death in Jurassic Park 3. Yeah, I know my taste in films is kinda questionable. The film's quite a stacked cast for our underrated film, from Billy Crudup, the late Anton Yelchin, Selena Gomez, and Lawrence Fishburne. The film was released in 2014, and apart from getting a couple of accolades at Sundance, the film's kind of fading into obscurity, no one's really talking about it, and I had no idea the film existed until last year, when one of my favorite movie reviewers on YouTube right now, Cody Leach, covered the film in his video about top 10 movie plot twists, and never hearing about the film, I was interested in checking it out. Along with the fact that I saw it was free on Amazon Prime, and this film's really taken me on a wild ride, and now it's a film that I want to spread its awareness for because I think it needs more recognition. The film revolves around Billy Crudup, who plays Sam, a successful businessman whose son dies in a college shooting and basically becomes a hermit in the shell of his former self. Then a couple years after the shooting, his ex-wife gives him their son's belongings, and despite not wanting them, he starts listening to his son's music that he made before he died, and starts to form a band when he starts playing it at a local bar, ran by William H. Macy, and he inspires a wannabe musician Quentin, played by Anton Yelchin, and Sam starts to regain his confidence as he gets popularity in the town for playing his music, but some old wounds start to resurface, as things aren't as perfect as it seems. This film is so gut-wrenching. The film tells a story that is similar at first, with the story being about tragedy and redemption, but the film really catches you by surprise about how truly emotional the film gets. The movie does a great job of being so grounded and feeling so real. This is not one of those films that was going for Oscar bait and has tons of these like Oscar monologues and stuff or Oscar reel. There's so much underneath the surface, and there's so much stuff that's just slowly put in by these actors, fiddled into dialogue and their actions, even than just their facial expressions, that it feels like you're watching a documentary. That's mainly because all the actors across the board are fantastic, especially Billy Crudup and Anton Yelchin, who are the heart and soul of this movie. And all the side characters around them are so investing, and all of them get the perfect amount of screen time. From Sam's ex-wife to Lawrence Fishburne as the owner of this local music shop, to Selena Gomez as a former girlfriend of Sam's son, who she probably gives her best performance despite she doesn't get a whole lot of screen time.
Things have died down. I even go out sometimes, like tonight.
Oh, Kate.
I go by Ann now, it's my middle name. So you're a rock star now, huh? Except you didn't write those songs, did you?
Listen.
How could you play those songs? Shame on you!
The film, due to its small scale, feels so personal, and there's so many moments in the film that it does hit close to home for me. The music is also really well done here and fits for the film's atmosphere. The melodies, the lines, which Macy wrote a lot of the music for this film, and the voice work from these actors that did actually sing these songs, and really well I might add, they're a memorable portion of the film.
The angel and the devil, secretly they get along, sitting up there with me in the middle, from dusk till dawn.
The standout in my opinion being the final song of the film and Sing Along, which encapsulates the tone of the film perfectly and is a great note to end the film on. Speaking of the ending, the final act of this film is one of my favorite third acts in any movie. Not because it has some gigantic emotional speech to make you cry. It's a very quiet ending, and I won't give any spoilers away, but it's very powerful due to the fact that the film brings up all these moral questions about our main character's actions, about spreading this music that isn't really yours to the world and taking credit for it. And it's something that really sticks with you after the credits roll, because one of those things I constantly think about, because the message is so powerful, and not just being some cookie cutter measures like be yourself, or don't listen to others, or don't care what others say. And it's the only film that I've seen thus far that does tackle that specific issue. The film has such a good look to it, from the cinematography, and it's one of those films that makes you feel like you're on a fly in the wall with how personal all the film feels, from the dialogue to the acting to the camera work, and the directing from Macy being on point and great for a debut, because he doesn't feel like a first-time director. He feels like a director that has tons of experience behind him. Everything just gels together perfectly. It really keeps you invested in the narrative throughout the runtime, to where when the film ends, you really don't know how to feel, and it makes the film all the more memorable. The pacing is perfect, and there's nothing in the film that really drags in my opinion, and nothing in the film zoned me out and wanted me to be on my phone. It's mainly due to the great bond between Billy Crudup and these 20-something bandmates, with him taking up this almost mentor figure, and trying to make up for the loss of his son is super investing, and you really do root for the guy, and you root for the characters to triumph. And there's also a handful of satisfying moments in the film that make you feel good, along with the film throwing some comedic lines in there which are all funny to not really make the film feel sappy. The film really translates a lot of the small insignificant moments in our lives and these small stakes really show how life really is. It's not just a cookie cutter story about trying to get up when you get pushed down. Not all of our so-called protagonists do the right thing, and the film really gives you the choice of what to make of it. It's really on your viewpoint to determine if these characters are in the right or in the wrong. The film's ambiguity in some characters' actions and moments don't come from laziness like a lot of these films kind of do, where the writers couldn't really find a way to end the movie. It comes from the ambiguity of real life and how not everyone does the right thing, because everyone in their life do selfish things to benefit themselves, and because of that, the film's messages really do stick with you, and does encourage discussions about is it right to separate the art from the artist. Is what the dad's doing really played plagiarism? And if it is it right for the father to share this music to the world? These are themes that most films that I've seen haven't tackled, and this film tackles them immensely well. It's really a crime that this film hasn't been talked about as much as it should be. And it sucks the fact that I didn't hear about this film until a popular YouTuber covered it. And it's a film that should get more recognition and attention because it does so much more than the typical sappy, melodramatic Oscar films we get every single year. Rudderless is one of those rare films that delivers human messages and emotions, and it doesn't give all the answers, nor should it. Because in life, no one has all the answers. It's a simple yet powerful story, all brought to life by an impressive directing debut from William H. Macy, who hopefully will do more work like this after Shameless ends. Incredible performances, great music, memorable dialogue, a smooth pace, making it feel like a real film with human characters that have great repertoire amongst each other, and being a film that was so much more than I expected it to be. And I implore you to check it out, especially if you have Amazon Prime, because it's one of my favorite films of all time. And if you haven't seen it, definitely give it a shot. I give Rudderless an 8+, a 10 out of 10, and a must-watch recommendation. So that's Rudderless. Have you seen it? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. And also make sure to check out Cody Leach's channel, the YouTuber that introduced me to this movie and the reason why I'm standing here talking about it right now. So I'll leave a link down to his channel in the description. But anyways, I'm CBMF Productions, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.